Good morning, Alf. Let's call this the happiest time of the year in the sports card hobby and non-sports card hobby, for that matter.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
Guys, let's talk. Let's have a chat. Let's talk through 2025. What a bunch of ups and downs, but something that just kind of keeps smacking me in the face, regardless of, again, the downs, because there's plenty of them. I think collectors have challenges right now. Actually, I don't think that I know that they have challenges. I mean, everywhere you look, I'll shout out Professor Sports Cards here, had a guy on that was early on Whatnot on that platform as they were just getting going. And this guy was essentially explaining how he had scammed people in the early Whatnot days. And it still goes on. He basically said, hey, look, you have to be careful out there. There's still stuff out there that is on live streaming apps, whether it's on auctions, whether it's at card shows, whether it's on social media pages, Facebook groups, whatever it is.
Now you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey, Matt, how can we get back on the right track?
There's always going to be a lot that we have to be careful of. But the one thing that I really do want to focus on, though, is the fact that the card hobby still remains extremely, extremely popular. Even as we round out 2025, when you look at just card sales as a whole, Q4 I think is going to show, we'll look at card ladder data, market movers will have data on this as well, to where it'll show a lull in sales, which is very typical. It's happened every single year except for 2020 during the pandemic times. But when we hit January, and it's something that I talked about in Off-Centered last night, is, we got card shows that are going to kick back up. We got a lot of new releases that are coming out. Topps has got a ton of new releases that are coming out. Panini does as well.
88 Fleer, factory set. We got a 1990 score, factory set.
Leaf, wild card, a lot of product coming out. And I think that it's just more so than ever when you look at this card hobby, locked in with your group, with your guys or your gals, whoever you're collecting with. And I don't mean necessarily to say like, hey, don't make any new hobby friends. That's not what I mean at all. But a lot of what we enjoy here is the camaraderie. I was reminded of that when I'm on Off-Centered. We do that bi-weekly show. It's about 90 minutes long. And it's just really, that's just a hangout for me and the guys to just catch up because we have very busy lives. And this card hobby, it's supposed to be something where we have an outlet. We get out of our, everyday life, and it's something that we can enjoy together. And that's something that sometimes it does get lost because we're all so busy. There's so many things going on, not even just hobby-wise, but also just in our personal lives. 2025 for me, and I know for many of you, a lot of great things, but man, it's been a roller coaster. And I'm ready to take, that last couple weeks of 2025, just refocus, recalibrate, and look at the way that I'm collecting, the way that I'm operating in the space, the way that I'm making content, all the things that I'm doing, and just figuring out what am I tweaking, what are we going to change in 2026? And there will be some things. There will be things that we do tweak in 2026. A lot of things that I'm really excited about that I'll be sharing later on down the line a little bit. But, it just goes back to have fun with your friends, man. I want to go to more card shows in 2026, and not even just with my friends, but also with my kids. They're getting older. My younger kids are 13 and 10, almost 11, and they're starting to get to that age where, dad's not as cool as he used to be. Don't want to hang out as much. They want to do their own things, and I respect that. And it might not always just be a sports card show. It might be a Comic-Con. It might be a pop culture show. I go to GalaxyCon with my 13-year-old. She still wants to do that with me, and I hope that she still does over the years. But I want to look at not just hanging out with my friends and also friends here, viewers that I don't get to hang out as much in 2026, have more experiences, get out and touch some grass a little bit in the hobby, go and see more shows, go out and participate in these shows, participate with viewers and so forth. So 2026 is going to be fun. I've said before, I'm going to kind of recalibrate a little bit on my spending in 2026. Not to say that I won't get any kind of big items for what I consider a big item. I think I will, probably one, maybe two in 2026, but I really want to focus in on, okay, if it's a card that's $500, let's just talk about mail days for a second. If it's $1 or if it's $500 and I'm buying a card, do I get 500 times more joy out of the $500 card than the $1 card? I don't know. I think I probably need to go back to my roots a little bit when I was collecting cards, opening packs of cards in the late 80s and 90s. And it wasn't about hitting a one of one. It was mostly just about finding cool cards. And I can remember very specifically, my dad actually reminded me of this going back. He's like, I remember when you opened up a pack of these Marvel cards going back, and I'm pretty sure he's talking about 1990 Impel or 91 Impel. And he's like, you pulled a Silver Surfer hologram out of the pack, and I have never seen you that happy. As a 10, 11-year-old kid, you were so ecstatic. about pulling that Silver Surfer hologram card out of that pack. And it was $1 pack at the time. And I know it's kind of all relative now. Packs are more expensive. However, there's also just more expensive cards that live inside these packs. So it's all relative. I don't want to completely knock new product. Even though it is too expensive right now, there's also just a lot more value in the packs than there used to be going back to 1990. Have we kind of jumped the shark a little bit? Is it too expensive? I think that it is. But I do think that Topps, Panini, Leaf, Wildcard, I think that they will adjust and calibrate. And I certainly do hope, especially when it comes to Topps, just having more of kind of those low dollar options where it's not, $200, $300, $400, $500 to get into a hobby box on the secondary market because you missed the EQL or whatever. It would be nice just to be able to have availability. Maybe that does mean higher print runs on certain things. I've talked about this Topps basketball release, that licensed Topps basketball release, printed into the ground. Some people push back on me like, oh, you don't want print runs to be too crazy. I really don't care if it is crazy for a Topps paper product. I think that it should be something where it's just available. And frankly, there are cool cards in that set, and there are chase cards in that set. There will be expensive cards that come out of that Topps paper set, and they did print a lot of it. So I think that there is a way to do it to where, it's not 1990. You can print a lot of it, but there's still value in those packs. There's still stuff to chase. In fact, I know that there is. I was looking at that checklist. There's a lot of one-on-ones. There's a lot of cool autos. There's stuff in the Topps paper product. I'm not talking about Topps Chrome basketball. So I think it's all relative. I think that for me, I just need to take a step back, take another hard look at the landscape, participate more in shows. I really enjoy shows. I get that buzz like in my stomach before a show, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Like I'm 10 years old and I'm going to the mall show. We're going to Panama City Mall and there was card shows. I feel like every weekend. It wasn't every weekend. It was probably once a month, but it was a blast, and the same exact feeling I have it now as an almost 45-year-old man, believe it or not. But that's the stuff, that's the stuff. I think I need to be focused a little bit more on experiences and less about just so focused on trying to get that next, expensive card or mid-tier card that I feel like I need to have. Just a little bit of a recalibration there. So to me, I'm going to title this video the happiest time of the year for the hobby because we get to recalibrate. We get a chance to take a breather, look back on our buys in 2025. How do we operate? What do we want to do differently? 2026 is going to be upon us before we know it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. Speaking of having a blast, let's flip the camera around and take a look at some of the REA items that are ending on Sunday night. So make sure to check out REA's current auction. I'll see you back in a minute. Alf, let's take a look at some cards. The REA auction ending on Sunday night. Some absolutely magnificent specimens in this auction. Let's start with the 1914 E145 Cracker Jack, number 30, Ty Cobb, and an unbelievable PSA 5. At the time of recording, this thing's sitting at about $90,000 for the bid. One of the pillars of the inaugural Cracker Jack set and one of Cobb's most iconic cards. Learned from Brian Dwyer on our live stream that these are cards that only came in the Cracker Jack boxes. So the idea that any of these would be in any sort of good shape at all over 100 years later is unbelievable. Of course, Ty Cobb being a major superstar from back in the day. Very cool card. 1956 Topps Mickey Mantle, the grayback in an unbelievable PSA Mint 9 from perhaps Mickey's best season when he won the Triple Crown and the first of his 3 career MVP awards. This card really needs no introduction. Unbelievable, and it's in a 9. Crazy. A signed 1933 Gaudy number 144, the batting stance version, my personal favorite of the Gaudy Babe Ruth cards. Probably the most notable piece in this auction, features a very interesting signature in black fountain pen that says, "Sincerely, Babe Ruth." It is a PSA 1.5 MK with a near mint 7 signature. Not a card that you come by every day. Another card that needs no introduction, the 86-87 Fleer Michael Jordan number 57 in an SGC 10 holder, arguably the most iconic basketball card of all time, and it's in that tuxedo, the SGC 10. The PSA 10s, I think they're going for about $200,000 to $250,000 approximately at time of recording. And the SGC 10 is an opportunity to get an unbelievable gem mint copy of the card without spending PSA 10 prices in most cases. So make sure to check this one out. 52 Bowman Large Football Complete Set, 144 cards, including 84 PSA graded cards. This set includes 34 Hall of Famers and numerous rare short prints, and the complete set features 84 cards that are graded by PSA. 52 Bowman. These early 50s sets, whether we're talking about baseball or football, man, they're just unbelievable. The illustrations on these cards, of course, they're not photographs, they're all illustrations. The 52 Bowman set, a beautiful one to collect. 1967 to 2023 Super Bowl program collection. Very interesting item, lot item. Near complete run of Super Bowl programs, beginning with Super Bowl I in 1967, all the way through the Super Bowl in 2023. Very, very cool item. 2006-7 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection patch, Michael Jordan, number 31 out of 100. It's in a BGS Mint 9 grade with a Gem Mint 10 signature. Beautiful signature here, not streaky, just very clean. And of course, these early 2000, mid-2000 Exquisite cards, always very popular. And we've got another one, and we've got, of course, the Michael Jordan protege, Kobe Bryant, number 84 out of 100. These are both, they're patch cards with the on-card autograph, both with 10 auto grades. These are two pillars of this particular Exquisite set. Same card and the same auto grades, Jordan and Kobe. 1948 Bowman basketball. It's the George Mikan rookie. Man, this is one card I would love to add to my collection at some point. There just aren't that many PSA graded copies, period, of this card. And this one is a PSA 5. It needs no introduction. One of the most iconic basketball cards of all time, and part of the first ever all basketball card set, that 1948 Bowman. 1955 Bill Russell, the NCAA First Place Championship Award. Direct player provenance with this particular item. Historically significant award presented to Bill Russell of the University of San Francisco for winning the 1955 NCAA basketball tournament. Crazy unique item for basketball lovers and Celtics fans, man. This is a very unique item. Make sure to check it out. Last but certainly not least, 1997 Michigan Wolverines National Championship team signed football. 25 signatures from the championship team, including Charles Woodson, Tom Brady, and Steve Hutchinson, authenticated by JSA. REA never fails to amaze with these auctions, and make sure to check this one out, friends. Have an amazing day ahead. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.